get the W, man. How's it feel to get in the win column and then just what you saw of you guys tonight, or today, I should say?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a conference game. I don't know if it's just I don't know, but it was the first probably really happy locker room we've had. Even after the Dixie win, even after we've had some wins, and it's kind of been a pretty monotonous kind of feeling there. But the guys were happy today, so I'm really happy for them that they got to smile a little bit and have some enjoyment.
Hey, Paul, you guys obviously are a team that you've talked about point guard play. You've been good. You're a good coach when you have a good point guard. You kind of shifted the lineup again today. I know Saquon was the primary point again, but giving Kurt some run as a starter. You seem to still be trying to figure out what's going on there, or do you think that maybe that'll just kind of be an ongoing hot hand who's practicing well, who's in a group kind of thing the rest of the year?
Yeah, so this was the first game. We basically left Saquon and Isaiah exclusively at point guard. So Saquon started the game, and when Saquon wasn't in, Isaiah was in, and vice versa. And it was just kind of a decision I made. I told the guys, look, we're just going to go down to two guys. And if we're going to make a change at some point, I'll let you know. But I think it helped Saquon, and I think it helped Isaiah. They had one role, come in, run the program, run the team. And I think between the two of them, they were 8-2 in assisted turnovers, and it's very encouraging. So I think it allowed them to read some defenses pretty well, make the right decisions, and give us overall a better 40 minutes. Now, that's not in maybe some other guys' best interest. That doesn't maybe give other guys an opportunity to step in and play that role right now. And but it's just a decision that I had to make. I hope it's going to be something that will make us better. I thought it did tonight. It just simplifies the way guys are viewing the game, and then keep Kurt and all these other guys off the ball and just allow them to be good at what they do. So I thought Saquon and Isaiah managed the game very well offensively tonight. Obviously a couple possessions you'd like to have back here and there, but hopefully me minimizing that rotation and right now just going with two guys and having them focus on that will give us more productive play at that position.
Coach, through the last two games, the guys have really been acknowledging that they feel like the defense just looks better, like generally just playing better defense. Beyond just everybody's getting comfortable playing with each other in the different groups and everything. Like specifically, what are you seeing about the defense that's better?
Yeah, I think they're just slowly understanding concepts more. It's one thing to kind of go through what we're trying to do defensively when you can't really go against anybody else for an extended period. And then it's another to kind of go through when you're just kind of going against yourselves. But you learn a lot when you play against other people. And it's just live repetitions that I think has allowed all these guys to slowly but surely individually become better players. I think at the beginning of the year, Valdir Manuel, everything was a goaltend, or, he didn't know what he was doing. And now those are turning into block shots, and I think it's kind of individually along the way. They're all just getting a little bit better timing of guarding people and being better at that end of the floor. It's something I thought rebounding and defense was always going to be our calling card for this year's team. And hopefully that's starting to evolve and emerge.
Yeah, Coach, along the same lines, just overall, I know it's a young team. Are you seeing a maturity coming out of this team a little bit more? I mean, on both sides of the floor. And I don't know, it's like the team just starting to buy in a little bit more.
I think so. I'd say maturity probably more than buy-in. I think buy-in is it's a very nebulous term with kids these age. And I think for me, it's more about just having the maturity to do your job, having the maturity to follow the game plan, having the maturity to just stick with what we're trying to kind of get done on the court. And I think that's growing. I think if something doesn't go my way or coach doesn't call my number, instead of kind of going in and maybe doing something that you think is going to help yourself get more minutes, they're starting to see now, Curry's playing. Okay, this is why such and such is playing, as opposed to me trying to imprint the game on what maybe worked for me somewhere else or what someone in my ear says, this will help you get more minutes. No, just have the maturity to say, you know what, I'm going to do exactly what the coaches are asking to do. That's going to get me more minutes, not other things that might enter into my mind.
Rod was saying Dixie State was giving you guys a little bit more time at the gym, so not just for practice and games, but also maybe to shoot some free throws at night. Was that something you guys weren't getting at Texas? And if it wasn't, how much has that helped?
Tremendously. I do think we all admit in looking back, Lubbock Christian University obviously gave us an amazing opportunity, but they also have full teams, full school in session, and getting in there was just really challenging for us. And it should be. Those teams should have priority to us. Those teams should use that gym whenever the heck they need it. I know if we were at the pit and some school was trying to come use our gym and I wanted my guys to come in and get extra shots, or I wanted practice to run longer, or I wanted that, obviously that's something you look out for the best interests of your own team. So, this is a moving target for us. We just have to keep trying the best we can to get gym time and get these guys on a basketball court with a ball in their hand, with a coach. And yes, Dixie has been much more beneficial to us in our development than unfortunately kind of some other stretches have been.
Paul, along those lines, you're not going to have to run into that problem down the road now they get to come home. But I mean, how much of an impact has that had on the guys, the mental health, knowing that they get to sleep in their own beds in just a couple of days?
I don't know yet. My wife asked me that question, and looking at the schedule, I think it's only going to be probably 3 or 4 days between now and the end of the season that anything's going to change, because we still have to leave to go play games elsewhere. So I'm hopeful that you're right, and it will make a big impact. But I don't want to get everyone too excited, because I don't know, as far as days in Albuquerque, how much will really change just kind of looking at our schedule from now till the Air Force games.
So, Paul, along those lines, there's 2 questions I have. One is, have you decided to play San Diego yet in San Diego? And also last week, Keith McGee citing basically what you guys were going through, stepped away from the team. Does he have an opportunity in your mind now to come back? Would you welcome him back, or was that a team decision for him to leave?
Okay, Keith McGee and then San Diego. Yeah, look, I've asked through Eddie to the league office for multiple scheduling changes through this journey. I have not been very successful at those. So where and when the San Diego State game is played, I think we're still working on. We obviously have to speed that up. I've been kind of trying to do some things that have been the best interest of our team from a physical and mental health perspective, but haven't been able to really get anybody else to budge on that. So to be determined on that one. Keith McGee, I would also say probably to be determined. Again, the practicing at home doesn't really affect us a great deal right now. And to have a Keith who's in his senior year right now, for us to potentially be on the road for the next 5 weeks, I don't know if that's very conducive academically to anybody's schedule. So there's that element to it. And then obviously visiting with Keith. But right this minute, our goal is San Jose on noon on Saturday. Those kind of conversations maybe we have when we get home. But again, we're home for a couple of days, and then we're on the road, and then we're on the road for quite a long time. So the change in the order doesn't really impact our team a whole lot.
Coach, my name is
one for Coach.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Coach. My name's Chris. I'm with the local paper here in St. George. Going along, just kind of visiting and kind of going around. And I know you bounced around some places this year so far, but going off a little bit what you said about Dixie State, how's it been here in St. George? I mean, you're playing 3 games here. You're going to finish up the stretch. What's it been like kind of practicing, kind of just staying here and just being around?
I love it. I was on a walk yesterday through a gorgeous park and called my wife and said, one day we might be retiring here. It's gorgeous. Like I think I said after the last game, the campus is open. Kids are walking around. People are it's been awesome. It's been very uplifting. The weather's been terrific, which I think has helped as well. And it's been a good experience for everybody. I've really enjoyed my time here. We're incredibly thankful to Dixie State for giving us this opportunity, and then the gym time as well. It's been a great experience for all of us. So we're very thankful to not only Dixie State University, but St. George and the entire community. It was a very refreshing place to come and just kind of live a little bit and enjoy playing basketball.
Yeah, going off that a little bit more, how important is it to kind of keep this relationship going? I mean, DSU's a new keeping this relationship going with them. Where do you see it going from here? Obviously, you probably hope you don't need to be in a position like this ever again to need help, but where do you see this relationship maybe taking you?
Yeah, whatever they would want, to be honest with you. I visited with their coach for a little bit. I've visited with him a few times, and he's obviously going into a league that I spent a lot of years in and was fortunate enough to be successful in. So anything I or we can do to help their situation and grow and develop it. It's a gorgeous campus. It's a beautiful football stadium. We've been in their weight room. Their arena's nice. We've used their kind of rec center as well. It's a neat little campus. And I wish Dixie State University all the best as they kind of transition into the WAC. And we're just thankful to have started this relationship.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, can you just talk a little bit more offensively about your performance tonight? Obviously taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, sometimes when I get out of a game and meet with you guys, I say certain things or feel certain things, but then after you watch the game film once or twice and you kind of get through it and you start to maybe look at things a little differently, I really feel right now that after going back and looking at the film, we're going to feel even better about our offense. We missed a lot of bunnies still. Didn't quite get to the free throw line as much as I'd like, and had some really good looks. Didn't go down. Even some of the threes are, kind of wide open. So again, the quality of shot is what we talk about offensively. It's not always going to go in. I thought our point guards managed a terrific game for a full 40 to kind of get that kind of assist to turnover ratio was great. And that might not as much be an indictment as any other point guards as much as it might be on me for not simplifying this earlier, just picking some guys and going with it. But we are where we're at now. I'm picking these two guys and going with it for a little bit, and hopefully they'll continue to manage good offensive basketball games for us, and we'll find a way to kind of get some better timing and get some more repetitions with some physicality and finish more around the rim.
Coach, you guys, it was a 10-point game with 6 minutes to go, and I thought you played really well the last 6 minutes, and you did that without the traditional post players and Matos and Manuel. The lineup that was out there really seemed to work well together. And even though you were sacrificing some size, at the post, it seems like Kurt and Saquon are able to kind of add a little bit of rebounding from the guard position too.
Yeah, for sure. And, they went small. They put AG at the 5. He was kind of isolating our bigs up top, and it just wasn't a great defensive matchup. And I think when you're kind of winning on the road, winning at home, I guess I should say, you got to win with defense. So we just figured let's get our best defensive lineup on the court and let's close this game out. And that's exactly what that group did. So, the good thing about the way we play is just a very old school style. I think a 10-point lead is almost like a 20-point lead. And we just kind of grind on you at both ends of the court and just kind of win the old fashioned way. So it's a team that kind of runs the football and stops the run at the other end. And that's kind of what we're trying to do basketball wise. And if Rod and McQuatch at the 4 and the 5 kind of give us the best ability to get stops, then that's a lineup we'll continue to explore.
Yeah, and McQuatch showed what he was made of. The set play, it seemed like out of the timeout, that took it, I think, from 9 to 12. Then, like, he does everything, including, I think he got called for a block shot. That was a rough call because he showed his versatility in just so many ways in that next stretch. Yeah,
he's an incredible human being, and I'm happy he cares so much. I don't know if you can say much more about the last senior left on a team right now fighting the way that he is in the midst of what we're going through, in the midst of the season we're having, to just go out and keep fighting the way that he is. He had a fellow senior kind of opt out before this even began, thinking that it wasn't going to be a pleasant experience. We've had another opt out after that. So for him to kind of keep fighting right now and not hang his head and complain and walk in and say negative things he's just an amazing human being. So I think it reflects with how hard and how much he cares on the court as well. And it's an honor to coach him.